Hello, I'm TeNeshia Sudds, the founder and principal consultant of Virtual Pro Associates. Directly in the middle of one of the biggest career growth spurts, I had a personal crisis, and at the end of the ordeal, the one element that assisted in boosting me forward was becoming comfortable in my own skin. I believe this is an important asset to talk about because without becoming comfortable with who you truly are, you'll constantly seek the road that others will have you follow. At the end of every day, the life you're living doesn't belong to your children, parents, other family members, or friends. This is your life, and in order for you to live it in the best way is to be certain that you're living according to the purpose that was placed inside of you. You have to become comfortable in your own skin. This is what we are talking about today. Comfort within, being comfortable in your own skin. Have you ever seen a scattered runner win a race? I know I haven't. All of the Olympic and professional track greats were focused on one thing from the beginning of the race, and that is being the first one to reach the finish line. Now, our finish line tends to be staggered and the path isn't as clear of that of a racetrack. But if we put enough effort and time into planning and building up the support around us needed to reach our goal, we can do a better job than ever of creating a path that will be less fraught with deterrence. The way you spend your time and the people around you will provide the boundary lines so that you clearly know when you're stepping out of bounds or moving away from your desired path to achieve your aims. Being comfortable in your own skin will allow you to identify which goals are and aren't for you. Here are 3 outcomes that you'll achieve by becoming comfortable in your own skin. A. Being comfortable in your own skin will allow you to form a clear vision of the lifestyle that is meant for you. When I was 18, I envisioned myself living in a metropolitan high-rise without children, having 1 cat, and working a posh editing job for a major magazine conglomerate. I tell people that now, and they look at me like I've lost my mind. Why? Because I'm happy living in a moderate-sized urban area with all of the major conveniences of a big city. I love children and have 3 of my own. I participate in volunteer efforts that support families, and I'm deathly allergic to cats. I hope you got a good laugh out of that one. Over time, and primarily during the aforementioned crisis, I realized how much of other people's dead dreams and their projected desires were implemented into my plans. I immediately began to remove the components of others' dried up plans from my own flourishing path. Just a word of wise and warning for those who do this. While you may not lose supporters, you certainly will confuse and possibly anger some individuals. Thankfully, our emotional responses to change are temporary. So don't let this stop you or discourage you from making sure that your plans reflect your purpose and not that of others. B. Empower you to move forward in a consistent and at a pace that will ensure that you'll get where you desire to be. You'll enjoy the training, guidance, and mentoring that you receive from others. There's nothing in the world like going to work or waking up every single day and doing the things that you enjoy doing. I understand that due to the need for us to support families, you can't always do what you enjoy, but if you adjust your trajectory and those in your chosen field see how brightly you shine when you're working, learning, and networking, they'll naturally gravitate towards you and want to give you what they're able. Imagine working in a field you love and other people giving you what you need to make your career more enjoyable. That's exactly the kind of life you can live once you identify and embrace the activities and fortune in life that resonate with your inner person. C. When you're more comfortable with who you are, you take better care of yourself. I notice many people going to the gym on a regular basis and embarking on health paths that they honestly feel are indicative of who they are. Many times, come to find out, these people are simply maintaining a body image that they feel make them more attractive to the general public. While that's fine on a limited basis, if that's the life you're living and put too much aim and focus on that, then you'll end up feeling empty. This is why we see reports of so many fit and beautiful people overdosing on drugs or overindulging in alcohol. The same goes for those who avoid all measures to be a physically healthy individual. The only difference between the two is that one is admired and the other is pitied. If you become comfortable in your skin, you develop habits across the board that will keep you content, and you have less downturns in your overall disposition. You'll complain less when your challenges occur because you'll know what's within you to overcome those challenges. But if you never become comfortable with yourself and know yourself, then your disposition will change with the wind. Being content and having challenges that you're able to navigate and cope with are the signals of a healthy lifestyle. It's not completely about the image that you sculpt and project. I realize that all of this sounds absolutely great. So how does one become comfortable in their skin? This is less about taking inventory as you do when you're creating more time for your goals, as it is in recognizing the total person that is you. Stop avoiding those things that you know are traits that you have but may not be desirable to people who want to get along with you. In other words, if you know that you're an argumentative person, explore that. Maybe you're meant to advocate on behalf of underserved and marginalized populations. It's difficult to advocate for others unless you have a personality type indicative of saying what others don't want to hear or haven't yet realized. Arguments are simply passionate disagreements. So look at those undesirable traits, explore them, embrace them, and you'll probably find that it's a part of your passion and purpose as well. Speaking of which, embrace your passion. If you have a passion for something like history that others may not readily encourage, be brave enough to explore that on your own. Don't allow the isolation of changing your passion keep you from it. As you move along your exploration, you'll discover your tribe. Don't worry. The isolation of doing what isn't popular will catch up to you and pay off. Make peace with your past. We can be so critical of our choices that seem to have held us back, and while I'm not saying that choices can't impede us, I'm saying that if you wouldn't have taken those left turns or gone off the rails of what you felt was the right path for you, you would have never ended up here. Take a moment to digest that. You're actually listening to this audio right now because of every single decision you've made up until this point. Isn't that awesome? Make peace with your past and be grateful for what you did or didn't do. Take those experiences with you as you move forward. Don't be afraid to take risks. I've taken so many risks that it scared the people who love me. In fact, I don't mind sharing with you that my mother's nickname for me is Calamity Jane. However, I've lived beyond and learned from every single calamity in my life path. I haven't gone too far to the side of reckless or lived so safe that I feel like I could have been more than what I am now. If you're going to adventure through your life path as you were meant, then you'll face calamity and challenges along the way. So don't be afraid to take those risks. Make a conscious decision to choose your purpose over all else. Like I mentioned in the previous guidance, risk taking is going to be a part of living, being comfortable with who you are. Like the runner in the race, the going gets tough. You must remember that the reason why you're enduring the hardship is because your purpose means more to you than being comfortable. Develop a coping mechanism for times when life becomes challenging. Singing is one of my passions and talents. For a very long time, I avoided singing in front of crowds. And on the occasion that people would hear me sing, they'd actually ask me why I don't sing professionally or where other people can hear me. I shied completely away from that for a very long time because I didn't like the focused attention or the spotlight. I had to become comfortable in my own skin in order to be comfortable and embrace that I have a talent that others needed. Now, fast forward about 12 years later. Singing in front of others is actually one of my coping mechanisms. It's like relieving an internal pressure valve. For instance, the evening I found out that my beloved grandfather passed, I actually went out to karaoke and sang my heart out. Singing to a crowd of people in the midst of my grief provided the relief for me to gather my thoughts, find the proper care for my children, and attend his homegoing service. Lo and behold, after arriving home, I was also tasked with singing at his wake, funeral, and at the burial site. Our family and friends were so appreciative that they were able to see his granddaughter sing beautiful melodies at his homegoing, and it was a great comfort to them. There's no way I could have done any of that without becoming comfortable in my own skin. You never know what events are coming ahead of you that will require you to be comfortable with whom you truly are. So, it's highly possible that your coping mechanism will also be an intricate component of your purpose. Celebrate yourself. Now that you've recognized the totality of who you are, including the undesirable traits, you're not afraid of your passion, you're okay with your past mistakes, you can take more risks, your purpose means more to you than anything else, and you understand how to cope with your challenges, it's time to celebrate yourself. Don't reserve celebrations of self for your annual birthday. And please celebrate yourself even before you've accomplished something great or achieved a milestone in your life. This will invigorate you to continue on your path. In order to maintain the stability of being comfortable in your own skin, you then need to teach and instruct people on how to treat you. Oftentimes, we fall into bad moods and have downward spirals of our countenance because of how we are treated by others. Once you make the necessary changes and create a life for you that is in line with your purpose, you'll need to retrain people on what is allowed and not allowed as far as your personal boundaries are concerned. In the end, people will respect rather than resent you for it. Please remember, you are worth it. You're destined to be great. And you deserve to be totally comfortable with who you are while achieving your goals and doing what you know you were purposed to. If you have any comments, recommendations, or questions, please send your transmission through the Virtual Pro Associates website at www.virtualproassociates.com. That's VirtualProAssociates. Or send an email directly to virtualproassociates@gmail.com. If you're ready to speak with a Get Course consultant, please call 1300-7790-80 or enroll online at www.getcourse.com.au. That's www.getcourse.com.au. Thank you once again for allowing me to share these insights with you.